Hi, I'm Veronica here. Welcome back to my channel where I talk for fitness professionals, hopefully providing you a little bit of experience, education, some wisdom on what I've learned so far in my 15 years of being in the industry. So today we're going to talk a little bit about injuries and how to navigate around an injury with a client. This is something that's very common. Trainers, especially yourself as coaches, have to manage. I'm talking to more personal trainers, SSC coaches out there rather than an injury rehabbers out there, okay, physical therapists. So really, it's about how to navigate. What can I do with a client who is injured? Because a lot of clients say, right, especially for business, like you got to think of if you're self-employed or whatever. Even if you're part of a team, you got to hit certain targets, a number of hours you got to hit. And it's for the business. You want to keep people in the business, keep being able to do stuff. And trust me, you can. You don't have to say, right, go rest for 4-6 weeks. That's the doctor's job, or the surgeon, or whatever. You could tell them to rest, because that's all that is them taking away all the responsibility if anything happens. That's all it is. I'm sorry for any doctors listening out there, but it is the truth. You're just going to palm them off. It's not your speciality. It's not your thing. So, and what you should be doing is say, go see a trainer, go see a physio, go see an injury rehabilitation specialist, and they can give you the best advice to keep you moving, because that's going to help you speed up the recovery process. It's going to help you come back and heal faster. If you sit at home and do nothing, and your clients do that as well, you're going to heal slower, you're going to recover slower, you're probably going to get a bit depressed, and you probably maybe suffer some mental health issues at the same time, which is it is an easy downward spiral. It can go that way. Trust me, with all the injuries myself I've had, and plus clients over the years. So you want to keep people moving, you want to keep them integrated into the environment that they're happy in, that they're already in. Say it's in the gym, say it's within the sports team, whatever else. Do not isolate and exclude people. It's the worst thing. It's like, in prison when they shove people in the isolation cells. It's the worst environment. It's unhealthy. And that's why it's punishment to isolate people. It's like at school, you get sent to detention, you get, put in the naughty corner. I don't know, whatever it is. Don't isolate people. It's not good. I've seen it over the years in teams, in different environments, in clinic, whatever it is and in gyms, is that they have a separate clinic, separate physio thing for this and that. What I love was in America, from Athlete Performance, now Exos, it was all integrated. Everything, which it should be, it's movement at the end of the day. So they have the physio plinths and beds, physios there, chiropractors doing treatment on the gym floor, whilst other athletes are doing their weights, they're doing whatever they're doing. And then there's a nice flow as well, because it's about keeping not only moving, it's keeping active mentally. When you're injured, for your client's sake, you want to focus on what they can do and not what they can't do. Because they already know they're debilitated, they've got this thing hurts when I do this. Let's focus on what we can do. It's the cup half full, half empty. Or as Carlos, some of I spoke to on the podcast the other day, said, the cup is always full. It's always full. It's either water and air. It's always full, which is exactly the mentality you need to have when it comes to injuries and when you're dealing with your injuries for yourself or with your clients, okay? So when you're looking at that, keep them integrated, keep them coming to classes, keep them as much as you possibly can. If they're doing yoga, they're doing boot camp, you try and you encourage that, and you tell the instructor, if you're the instructor themselves, we're going to modify stuff. We're going to get you doing stuff. I had a case where a client couldn't run forwards. It hurt their knee. They had knee pain. They had femoral pain, tendinopathy. So they couldn't run forwards. Every time they ran forwards, it hurt. And then there was 20 other people running in the warm-up, running. And she was just like, I can't do this. And I said, no, you can. Can you run backwards? And she said, oh, I haven't tried. I said, try it. And off she goes. She starts pedaling backwards, starts going, and then she can run backwards. And then she joins in. She's part of the team. She has a smile on her face. She feels good. She's part of it. She's going to go through hell in a second. But it's the whole point of find out and focus on what you can do and not what you can't do. Because you're going to not only retain your business, you're going to make them feel better. You're going to speed up their recovery. They're going to get out of the hole that they're in right now and move forwards rather than feeling isolated, depressed, lonely, blah, 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 inflamed, all these different things that only slow the whole thing down. So get your clients included. And again, as a coach, when you're looking at your client or just yourself, you're injured, and you're trying to figure out what can I do? Focus on what you can do. Go through your usual program. See what I can do. When I bend my knees, it hurts. Okay. Oh, if I hinge forwards, oh, that's all right, actually. I've got no pain in my knee when I do that. Great, we're gonna do hinges. And you know what? The body normally is a sign. It's like warning lights in your car. Normally when you have some sort of pain in your back or your knee or your shoulder, and it just comes on, there's no acute event like someone smashing you, you have a car accident or whatever. It's normally a sign you need to avoid it and be doing the opposite. So if it hurts when you bend forwards in your lower back, okay, what about if I just keep upright and do like really upright heel elevated squats so I get pain in my back? No. Oh, well, let's do some of those then. you know? Because actually maybe you need to be working your quads a little bit more, you've been overloading your lower back, we need to do more anterior chain work rather than posterior chain work. And then, you know, you're gonna develop deep knee flexion, whatever it is. You're gonna work on probably some of the areas that you actually need to work on and been avoiding because you've been over-specializing or overloading certain patterns of movement and haven't been having quite a balanced program for what your body's presenting and what it needs right now. So again, the body is way smarter than us. We do not unconsciously, we do not understand our bodies. Yeah, science or anything. But our bodies have been around a long time. Yeah, they know what they're doing. They're pretty robust. They're pretty tough. They're more robust than we give it credit for. Listen to it. But the problem is we're just not aware. We're not aware of anything. We're just glued onto devices and screens and everything else. We're not present most of the time. We don't listen to our bodies. We don't know how it's feeling. We don't know what's going on because we're so checked out rather than checked in to our bodies and our environments and the world that we live in today and with the people and your loved ones and everything else. The main thing is listen to the body. Avoid the pain initially. Go away. If you're a coach, you know the mechanism of the injury. Say they sprained their ankle. So they had plantar flexion and they rolled it outwards, inverted it. Okay, so we're going to do the opposite. We're going to do dorsiflexion and we're going to do eversion. So what you'll find, say someone who's done an ankle sprain, they can't jump, they can't do obviously calf raises, you know, things like this, but they can't run. But they can squat. They can do a bilateral squat, no problem. And especially a wider stance squat. They probably will have no pain. If they did a plantar flexion inversion, you know, type ankle sprain, they will be okay. So you can get them squatting. Day after the ankle injury, even hours after the ankle injury, minutes, they can squat and they have no pain probably because they're not stretching the ankle out of the ligament. Sure, they might if it's a really bad ankle sprain and they're sweating and, you know, everything else, sure, like you're going to be off the foot. But one of the first things you can start integrating back into their plan is ankle dorsiflexion and eversion movements, like doing a bilateral squat, for instance. Let's start there. And then we're going to work, and then all rehab is knowing your mechanisms of injury and your progressions towards from where the injury happened, plantar flexion and inversion, and then so we're going to do start opposite it, ankle eversion, and then we're going to progress towards it. And then we're going to go past it, add more speed, add more load, add more fatigue, add more rotation, add more whatever it is, and get past where you previously got injured and the functionality that you had before. So that we go way beyond your threshold and what you thought you could do, and that you're going to bulletproof that joint from non-contact injuries. Look, contact is contact. When you got these weird external forces coming in from wherever, unknown and unpredicted, that's tricky to prevent. So start there. Start with things that don't hurt. Start with the opposite movements of the injury that occurred. Start with light to lows. Maybe it hurts with doing shoulder press in the shoulder and the AC joint with 15 kilos, but 5 kilos, no pain. Perfect. So you're maintaining the patterns. Maintaining the movement patterns is more important than how much you're lifting, okay? Focus on that. Let's start with 5 kilos. If all you can do is 5 kilos, no pain, but 6 kilos is pain, we're gonna start with 5 kilos, and then we're gonna build from that. So again, it's always trying to establish where the thresholds of pain are with certain movement patterns, and then just beneath, and then you go from there. And that's how you can work on, you know, keeping people fit. I've had guys having keyhole surgery, washing out their meniscus. In the morning, in the afternoon, they were doing deadlifts from blocks in the evening. Because the surgeon said to me, he cannot bend his knee past like 110 degrees or 90 degrees. And I said, absolutely perfect, no problem, sir, thank you very much. And he was locked in a brace, but he could still do partial deadlifts from mid-thigh, and then he was pulling 150 for 5 reps. And this was a 17-year-old kid at the time. So we kept him strong. And within a week, he was out, and the surgeon was like, his knee's amazing. Like, this is really a fast recovery. Like, yeah, because he's kept strong. And even if you've only got one leg, if you're in a sling, if you got, you know, you're on one leg in a boot for whatever reason, you have still got 2 arms. You know, say you got an arm in a sling, you've still got 1 arm, a spine, and 2 legs to train. So there's plenty you can do. And there's a big thing with why it speeds up the healing as well, and actually maintains muscle mass and prevents atrophy, which is another big thing why you got to keep training. Say you got your arm in a sling, you can't move your arm, you dislocated it really badly or whatever, you damage nerves. Train the other arm. Do left arm presses, left arm rows, left arm pull downs, left arm chin ups if you're really strong. You know, and you just work that left arm. There's a transference effect, there's a research on it. Yeah, look it up. At least 10% transference. This side will maintain, the injured side will maintain muscle mass, and it will keep strength. Because when you're doing heavy stuff with this arm and the nervous system is active, and some of it will trickle over to this side. That's the theory. But as well, this arm has to contract. It still has to work at a much lower level, of course. This one's working, 80%, whatever. This one will work at like 20, 30%. It's contracting, it will have to work to stabilize. It will work, it will fixate, there'll be some sort of movement going on, even though it's in a sling. So get the body moving, get training. There are no excuses. unless you're literally paralyzed. But even then, you can work your eyes maybe and blink, okay? So keep moving, do something is better than nothing. Keep the main thing the main thing. I hope that was useful. Please like, subscribe, share these videos with your friends, your other colleagues, fitness professionals. Hopefully spread this message out there and provide more value, and to help you guys navigate this crazy industry we call the fitness industry, and hope you can progress, take something out of this and progress your own careers and develop far beyond whatever I did. Okay, see you on the other side.